Hey, Mr. Russell, if you got to pick between a baddie and a lady, what are you going to pick? He said, you know what? I think I'm going to pick both of them. I was like, Mr. Russell, bro, it doesn't work like that. Either you choose one, it's like, well, it could work. I'll take both of them. With the correct woman, you can have both of them. So I laughed. But I said this to say that, hey, anyways, this is one of my favorite topic ever. My favorite topic ever. It's about women. Today, we're going to talk about women. And before we get into it, hey, I want to welcome everybody to Caesar 3 Media. And my name is Augustus Sampa. I'm the host. This video is usually sponsored by Chronos 3 Production, Chronos 3 Protection. And we're going to jump right into it. The 5 hidden qualities of women that is kind of hidden in this book. Once again, this is the only book I know. I actually studied it, so most of my presentation will be connected to the Bible. It's one of the most powerful books ever published. Powerful and also very popular. So if you don't have one, it would be nice to get a copy. The 5 hidden qualities of women that is found in the Bible, and that is what I'm going to share with you guys today. I am very excited. I try to wait for a perfect time to do this presentation. I've had this presentation in my mind for a very long time. I just wanted to just wait for the right time to present it, and I feel like this is a very good time to present it. You know, I'll start by saying John chapter 1 verse 1. It says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Nothing was made without Him," right? Everything was made with Him. So in other words, a lot of people, because it's coming from John chapter 1 verse 1, everybody will say this particular verse is pertaining to Jesus Christ, which is okay. Congratulations. That is actually correct. You know, a lot of people argue about the content of the Bible, and a lot of times they've not even read 5% of it. Your life depends on this book, and you don't spend time reading it. So I encourage, sometimes I do some of this presentation just to encourage people, please, your life depends on this. At least find some time to read it before you start arguing, man. You know, before you start arguing for no reasons. You know, I just don't like following things blindly. And when you spend time with this book, you're going to learn a lot of things that will open your eyes. It will make you live a better life, and you'll be surprised the codes and the hidden things that is found in this book. So let's get right into it. Like I said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was God, and the Word was God. The famous text is found in John chapter 1 verse 1, which is directly coordinated or connected to Jesus. But I find it very interesting that there's another passage. Like I said, this particular presentation is about women. You know, my favorite topic in life. I enjoy discussing things about women, such as behind every successful man, there is a woman. You know, a lot of times they don't get credit. They don't get the credit and the things that they bring to the table. They don't get credit for the amazing things that they do. And at the same time, it's sad to know that the women representation in this book is kind of lacking. But there's a reason for that, and I'll tell you that. John chapter 1 pertains to Jesus. But there's a passage in Proverbs chapter 8 that it surprises me that nobody is actually talking about this verse, because it pertains to women. And you know, some of these things, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Why does every time people talk about God, they make it look like it's a man, his robe, his throne, ancient of days? When you read the book of Daniel chapter 7 verse 9, Daniel tries to describe God, and God is an old man sitting on a throne, ancient of days. When you read Isaiah chapter 6, he has cherubims and seraphims on his throne. Once again, his robe. So if God is a man, where is the woman? Well, I guess God doesn't need a woman to be successful. But I'm here to tell you that there's more to this story than what you've been told all your life, what you've been told on your Sunday school, whatever you believe in. There got to be a woman in there somewhere. And the woman representation in this book is lacking. And today I'm just here to share 5 codes, 5 qualities, 5 powers of women that is found in this book. And like I said, this is the only book I have studied. And I'm very, very excited to share this knowledge finally with the rest of the world. And we go straight into it. Proverbs chapter 8. You know, the topic, a lot of times people say the personification of wisdom. And when you start reading right from chapter 1, it talks about a woman, or it talks about wisdom being represented in the form of woman. But a lot of time, everybody jumps right into the verse 22. And I see that the New King James Version tries to connect this to John chapter 1, and they are doing everything they can to take even the personification of wisdom as a woman to be connected to Jesus, who is a man. And I remember one time there was a guy that was arguing with me because I said women are very powerful. And I told him that, you know, there's a good reason why God in this book does not have a vagina. And he was like, what are you talking about? I was like, God doesn't have a vagina, but he was able to create a woman. So how did he do that? You know, he created man in his image. So how did he create the woman? How did he create vagina? I personally think that, you know, if you want to look at the God concept, there got to be a lot of gods out there. And I'll say that I think there's a woman involved in this creation. I could be wrong. You don't have to take my word for it. Like I said, get one of these. Get one of these. And you'll be surprised what you're going to learn from it. So let's look at Proverbs chapter 8, verse 22. I'll let Sophia. Some people name their kids Sophie, and they don't understand the word Sophie. Sophia is actually the Greek term for wisdom. Wisdom. Proverbs was written by the King Solomon himself. And like I said God doesn't have a vagina, and somebody was very, very offended by that. And I'm saying it in a good term to say that there got to be a woman involved in the creation. And once again, we serve a God that doesn't play well with other gods. So imagine a God saying, I am a jealous God. God is allowed to be jealous, and yet you are not allowed to be jealous. What is God jealous of? If there's not other gods out there, I'll say there's a woman that is a God out there, except she don't get the credit. This book was written by male-dominated people, and I like to think it hasn't served justice to how powerful women are. As women have been suppressed all over the world, and like I said, in order to control somebody, you need to take their identity away from them, and also you need to take their power away from them. And I feel like this book have done a lot of that. You know, imagine growing up as a woman, as a kid, and all you keep hearing is that Eve was the reason why sin came into the world, and women are sinful, women are evil. How are you gonna feel? So I'm here to say that, hey, let's look into the book and let's see what it is that they are trying to hide. Proverbs chapter 8, verses 22. That's where we're gonna start. I'm gonna let Sophia read for you guys to hear. You know, Sophia is an AI, you know, basically she's gonna read her own story and tell you who she is.
The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. The Lord possessed me in the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was, I brought forth. When there were no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water. Before the mountains were settled, before the hills was, I brought forth. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth. When he established the clouds above. When he strengthened the fountains of the deep. When he gave to the sea his decree, that the waters should not pass his commandment. When he appointed the foundations of the earth. Then I was by him, as one brought up with him, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in the habitable part of his earth, and my delights were with the sons of men.
Yes. All right, now let's look at the summary over here. What suffices? It says, before the mountains, I was set up. Before everything else was created, I was there. Before the fountain of the world, I was there. I was at his delight. I was abiding or living in the place where I could live. And the Son of Man was my delight. So basically, before creation, there was a woman. But a lot of time people still want to give this verse to Jesus because they don't want to give the credit to the woman. And once again, this is in Proverbs. So Solomon, the wisest man ever to live, who had thousands of women around him, is presenting wisdom as the personification of is presenting women as the personification of wisdom. Why is nobody talking about this? Why is no preacher giving credit to women as the personification of wisdom? And in other words, when you go deep into Proverbs, it makes it feel like, during creation, there was a woman over there. There got to be a woman over there. All these beautiful things that all over there we can see, the trees, the plants, the flowers. Sometimes you have to question, is it only a man? But yeah, Proverbs chapter 8. Don't take my word for it. You get time, go and read from verse 1 all the way to the end. You will know that there's a lot of she, right from the beginning. She, using the word she. Finally, somebody is using she to represent a divine entity. So go and read it, and you're going to understand what I mean by woman in the personification of wisdom. These women, they've always been smart. Look around you today. Once the planes are even, the doctors, the lawyers, the engineers, with education being presented to women, now women are best doctors, best lawyers, best engineer. They've always been smart. You don't need me to come and tell you that women are smart. They've always been smart. Yeah, sometimes, like I said, sometimes they make some dumb decisions. You are the personification of wisdom, and yet you don't know who you are. Imagine you being pregnant by a man who has two other women pregnant at the same time. Let that make sense. You choose the person you want to date based on the number of tattoos the person has. You choose somebody that is abusive, and you decide that, hey, maybe he's going to change. The personification of wisdom. What happened to Sophie? What happened to Sophia? That is for you to answer. But yet, you can't take that away from women. They've always been smart. They've always been wise. And now let me take you to the beginning. And you're going to probably understand what I'm saying a little bit better once we go to the beginning. Let's look at the Adam and Eve story, okay? The Adam and Eve story. And every time I talk about the Adam and Eve story, I always say that, look, you cannot blame the woman for bringing sin into this world. If there's anything at all, we should be thankful to this woman for being brave enough to say, wait, this thing is going to make me look like God. This thing is going to make me turn into God. And this fruit is going to make me wise. Or my eyes is going to open. So Yes, fine. You can say she was deceived. But after they ate the fruit or whatever, first of all, what is the fruit doing in the garden in the first place? That's a question you should be asking. But of course, we don't ask these questions. And yet we sit behind screens and we try to argue. I'm saying take the book, read it. You can read and write. Take the book and read it and ask questions. You will see the story in vivid. So I'll say that to say the Adam and Eve story, everybody knows. And I'm going to let Eve, I've been assigned to defend Eve, okay? I'm the attorney for Eve, okay? This is how I was going to present her defense. Read the book. Let's let Eve say her side of the story. Imagine you take a book and there's a snake and a person talking at the same time, and yet you don't ask question. How's that even possible? What kind of snake is that? Anaconda or cobra or just a regular serpent? We don't ask these questions, and then we take it figuratively. We just take it mere, and we just started putting interpretation to it. Then we demonize the woman for bringing sin into this world. And I'm saying, please relax. Go and read the book, and you see who is actually guilty here.
And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together, and made themselves aprons.
Then the Lord God said, Behold, the man has become like one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put out his hand, and take also of the tree of life, and eat, and live forever. Therefore the Lord God sent him out of the Garden of Eden to till the ground from which he was taken. So he drove out the man, and he placed cherubim at the east of the Garden of Eden, and a flaming sword which turned every way, to guard the way to the tree of life.
I say that to say that, hey, finally, fast forward, sin has come into this world, and then let's look at what that resulted in. The man was cursed, the woman was cursed in child labor. In child labor. Once again, I said the woman was brave enough to question. So, code number 2, women have always been brave in a very unique way. A woman have always been brave. So, don't put the lady down. She is smart, she's wiser, and she's braver. And the third thing, as a result of sin, the woman was cursed. I would like to think that, hey, read Genesis chapter 3, verses 22 and 23. There's a very, very interesting thing that happened over there. It says, now the man have become one of us. This is God actually conversing. And I'll put the text on the screen so you can understand. After listening to the text, God is saying, now the men have become one of us. And therefore, in order, it should be even exciting that finally men have figured out certain things. Their eyes are open. They realize they are naked. All of a sudden, the first invention of the world, they decided to make clothes with fig trees to cover themselves. So before that, these people were experiments in the garden. They don't know what is good. They don't know what is bad. They don't know right and wrong. But the verse 22, Genesis chapter 3, 22 and 23 will tell you that God has confirmed it. Now the man have become like one of us. And when the Bible say one of us, who is God talking to? Like I said, there got to be more gods around. There got to be more gods in this story. But then that is not for me to decide. That's up to you. You can know all these things. If your life is shitty, it is shitty. I don't care. But I'm here to say that there's a big picture. Why didn't God simply say, hey, you guys have made a mistake, so I forgive you guys? After all, in Matthew chapter 18, verse 22, it says that when somebody do something against you, you should forgive them 70 times 7. Why didn't God forgive Adam and Eve? And yet, he cursed them. He gave them the punishment, childbearing pain. The man will suffer before he can feed, all of that. Then you know the worst punishment? He was like, these guys are become more powerful. They know what is good and what is bad. So we need to kick them out so they can start dying. Read the book. Hey, don't take this from me. Read the book. So Adam and Eve was kicked out of the garden for one reason, so that they can shorten their life, so that they will not be immortal, so that they will not eat the plant or the tree of life and live forever. So I'm telling you, why are you dying today? You're dying because you got kicked out of the garden so you can die, because now you know too much. Now your eyes have opened. Now you know what is wrong and what is bad. What is wrong with a human being knowing what is wrong and what is bad? That is a question that if you keep asking these kind of questions, you're going to have problems in the church. But it's okay. I'm just here to tell you the hidden powers in the Bible. So don't assume that you are less of a human being or you are less of a person because Eve was the person that brought sin into this world. Once again, number one, the lady have always been wise. Number two, she's always been brave. Number three, the pain and the porter to this universe. After sin, a lot of people say the woman got cursed, that she's going to go through pain. Just childbearing pain alone is crazy. So I personally think the woman can take pain more than the man in so many different contexts. You can digest it, but it's a fact. Science have already proven this kind of experiment already. And like I said, this pain of childbearing delivery goes along with the porter. Even Jesus, who is considered the Son of God, has to go through the same porter. You can't come to this universe without going through a woman's vagina, and it's just a fact. Even the Son of God has to go through that. You got to respect that. So the idea of people disrespecting women is relax. These are entities that they are no joke. I don't even want to talk about menstruation. That's, imagine you're there and all of a sudden every month you have to bleed, and yet you don't ask the question, why was that? What was God thinking and created a woman that way so they can suffer every month? I don't look at it that way. There's more to that, but I'll leave it for another day. I am just excited to tell you that, look, the woman has qualities, man, that is very, very serious. Once you start ignoring these qualities, you are going to be in trouble. They are no joke. I'm telling you, they are no joke. Today, that is the message. They are no joke. She is wise. Sophia, she was there during creation. She has always been wise, the personification of wisdom. Number two, she was brave. Very brave to say, hey, no, this doesn't make sense. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to get to the truth. She was brave. She can take pain. And she's also the porter to this universe. She can take pain better than you. So chill. She can take pain. Number four, I want to present to you. You see, we talk about the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven. That means there's a king. But nobody is asking about the queen. If there's a king in heaven. There got to be a queen in heaven. Do you agree or not? Hey, that's up to you. You don't have to listen to me. There got to be a king. Once there's a king, there's a queen, I like to believe. And yeah, this thing is hidden in the Bible. Jeremiah chapter 44, verse 17 to 18, right? The people of Israel was worshiping a deity called the Queen of Heaven. And once again, when you talk about Queen of Heaven, everybody want to demonize it because they are used to demonizing anything female that is divine or that can be from God. Why can't a woman be a god? Why can't a woman possess the ability to create? Why can't a woman be a god? Once again, Jeremiah 44 verse 17 to 18 says that the people of Israel at one point, they turned and they started worshiping a deity called Queen of Heaven. Once again, some people said that is a Mesopotamia goddess and she is dangerous, she's evil, she's a demon, whatever. You talk about all these things and you still celebrate Easter and you don't even know why you celebrate Easter. Just relax. It's okay. You're going to learn something. This is just to encourage you to read a book, right? Read the book. So don't fight with me. Don't argue with me. I'm just saying, go and read the book. And what was the results? These people were worshiping the Queen of Heaven. It says, when we worshiped the Queen of Heaven, we did not lack. We have plenty of food. We had no trouble. The Queen of Heaven. That's all she did. And she didn't demand for goats or anything. All they did was give him some cake and bake some stuff on. Literally, they did not lack and they did not get in trouble. But once they stopped offering, they've been dying. They've been going through some pain and all of that. It's in the Bible. I didn't make it up. It is in the Bible. I did not make it up, fellows. Literally, Jeremiah was just telling them, look, you guys need to stop worshiping other gods, and worshiping only Yahweh, the true God, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, look, we did not have any problem at all when we were worshiping the Queen of Heaven. Why is nobody talking about the Queen of Heaven? We talk about the King of Heaven, but we don't talk about the Queen of Heaven. Once again, like I said, the book is designed to put women down, and I'm here to tell you that, look, there is a queen somewhere. So if you are going to sit down and ignore the fact that women are very powerful, that is up to you. I'm just here to present to you that, look, when you read even the scriptures, they are there. They just don't get credit for what they do. The women have always been powerful. Once again, she's wise, she's brave, she can take pain, she's the portal to this universe, and also she's a queen. So you better treat her like a queen. You call somebody a lady, then they start itching. They can't even accept the fact that they are ladies, and that just baffles me, right? Fine, I get it. It's English language. You have a lady, and a lot of people, funny enough, they don't know the opposite of lady. A lady is somebody that is high in society, right? In the British Oxford Dictionary, whatever you want to look into it. A lady is somebody prominent in society. The opposite of lady, funny enough, is Lord. So you call somebody lady, imagine I call you Lady Mary. You're supposed to call me Lord Augustus. But sometimes I find it very interesting because the idea of calling somebody Lord have been deduced. And I keep telling everybody that, look, we are children of God, and therefore we're supposed to be God. And yet when you call somebody Lord, it's even a problem. So relax. The women have always been powerful. They are queens and we are kings, okay? They are queens, they are ladies, and we are lords. But that's up to you. You can do whatever you want to do. You have a boyfriend and you can't even give your boyfriend the decency, or your man, your husband, the decency of calling him Lord. If he refers to you as a lady, call him Lord, because he is a Lord. Okay? It's not a crime to be a Lord. Anyways, like I said, women are queens and there is a queen in heaven. Now, code and quality number 5, my favorite. And a lot of people usually lead with this one. And I'm saying, no, relax. It's very powerful. The woman's beauty. Can't say enough. A woman's beauty is classic. Fine. These days, a lot of ladies, that's all they have. beauty. And they depend so much on the beauty, they forget that they're supposed to be wise. They forget that they're supposed to be brave. They forget all the other qualities that they have. And they only depend on their beauty. So when the beauty is taken away from them, they become useless. And then society have portrayed things to be that women have become just one-dimensional. Just their beauty and their vagina. And it's so sad and it's very pathetic. I think the woman represent something more than just their beauty. But let's look at the beauty. The beauty is so dangerous that even the sons of God fell to this beauty of women. You know, when you read Genesis chapter 6 verse 2, a lot of people don't know what the sons of God is. But these theologians out there, some of them have an idea. They will tell you that these are angels. These are the angels that is referred to as fallen angels. Sometimes you read the book of Enoch, it just gets so nasty. It just goes on and on. Maybe that's why they took it out of the Bible, but I understand, once again, they took some books out of the Bible because it was just too complicated. It was just too hard to understand. But the book of Enoch goes much in details on how powerful these women are. And I'm telling you, the beauty of a woman cannot be ignored. Like I said, the sons of God, who are the angels, came and took wives of the daughters of men. And you see, you find this in the Bible, and you don't ask questions. You see, the theologians will move things around, try to say, no, it's not angels. But you go and read Job chapter 1, when there was a meeting in heaven, it says the sons of God. And once again, everybody, do your research. Don't take it from me. The sons of God were angels. They came and they took wives from the daughters of men. And why do I say that? They saw that the daughters of men were beautiful. Even angels are falling to the beauty of woman. You as a guy, you don't have a chance, I'm telling you. Yes, fine, you can do your best and resist. But when a woman's beauty is, I'm not going to say too much. But the beauty of a woman cannot be underestimated. I just don't understand why society and women themselves have limited everything and all the powers that they possess into just one dimensional, which is their beauty. And one time I was having this conversation with somebody and I said, I wish not just the sons of God. If the sons of God are angels, I want some daughters of God. I would like to meet a daughter of God, you know, a female angel, okay? I want a female angel to come visit me and take me as a husband. You know, these sons of God came and took our wives. So I want a female angel to come visit me. But, you know, I say that as a joke, but it's crazy. Women have always been powerful. They've been suppressed by so many different things in society, including religion, and it's sad. In fact, if you put both on the scale, it's literally 5-1. And at one point, Adam, the word Adam, if you read Genesis chapter 5, it says male and female he created them, and he called them Adam. So at one point it was just one person, and they took the woman out of him. The masculine and energy was the same thing, and they took the feminine out of the masculine, and then eventually he named his wife Eve. But then at one point they were the same. We're supposed to be with each other. We're supposed to work together. We're supposed to team up together. And therefore, why are women being put down? Why is woman being less of a person according to the scriptures? And I'm just here to say it's because, you know, they've been told right from the beginning that they are the cause of evil. And I'm telling you, they are not. If you really want to know the cause of evil, go and read Deuteronomy chapter 32 verse 39. Go and read that. You know, God created day and night. He created prosperity, and he also created disaster. Go and read it and stop blaming the woman for all your problems. Go and read Isaiah, okay? Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7, okay? Go and read that before you put any blame on any woman for your problems. You just making wrong decisions and you think Eve is the cause of evil? Please relax. Relax. God made a special entity through woman. And like I said, this presentation have been in my heart for a very long time. I'm just here to say that, look, all you need is to give respect where it's due. And I'm here to encourage all the ladies out there that, man, you are more than just your appearance. You are more than just your beauty. You are an entity. You are a goddess. You can do whatever you set your mind at. You team up with the man, it's a game over. It's a game over. You're special. Don't let anybody put you down. Don't let any book put you down. Just know that you are the personification of wisdom. Just know that today, take it from me, you might not hear this message anywhere else. The woman have always been special. The woman have always been there. That's why they say behind every successful man, there is a woman there. She might not get the credit. She don't need it. She don't care. She was just born that way. She's always been powerful. You know, the man has a quality. Provide and protect. That's all you got to do as a man. The women got to take the rest of the load. And I'm telling you, it's very, very huge. So please, I don't know how you see this message. I don't know how you see women. And women out there, please know who you are. Take your powers back and be great. You are a goddess. And this is all I have for this presentation. If you like this message, kindly subscribe. There's more to come. And we're going to present this same topic in a podcast form. Like I said, I couldn't control it. I just wanted to share this message with the rest of the world. And like I said, the women have always been powerful. It's even hidden in the book. Relax. Find some time. Spend some time with it. Read it. Don't just take what your pastor just told you or whatever you heard from Sunday school, that Eve and evil, all of that. Read the book. Read the book. You're a goddess, and stop begging. Stop setting yourself short. Stop serving yourself short. You're a woman. You're an entity. There's a reason why you bleed every month. So please, you are not inferior. You are special. And you are a queen. So please, act like it. Comment, subscribe, like. If you like this video, don't hesitate. Leave a comment. Okay? Leave a comment. This is Caesar 3 Media. Like I said, I just want to share the word with the rest of the world. And enjoy yourself. Have a very, very, very good life. Good day. Good whatever. Take time. Take care. Stay blessed.